In this lecture, we'll be talking about paraphrasing. So what is paraphrasing? Paraphrasing is basically writing the idea of another person in your own words. Why is paraphrasing important? It's really important when you want to use the idea of an expert or the author of a newspaper article or an author of a research paper uh, to support your own ideas in your own writing. Paraphrasing allows you to use another person's ideas without plagiarizing, and that's really important. In academic writing, plagiarism is the worst thing you can do. Paraphrasing also is important because it shows that you have understood what you read. As I've said, it's a common feature of academic writing. So we're going to talk about two different ways to paraphrase. The first method is kind of a simple one. The first thing you do is you read the original sentence or the passage from the textbook or the article or whatever, wherever you want to take the information from. You make sure that you read for a clear understanding of the author's message. Then you cover or hide the original sentence or passage. And then you try to write the author's ideas using your own words without looking at the original. Now the second method is a little bit more specific and detailed. There are several steps in this method, and I've usually found that this method is much more helpful for students. So the first thing is you want to break down the sentence into its component parts. Then we want to change sentence structure. Changing the sentence structure is the most important part of paraphrasing. So some ways you can change sentence structure. You can change passive voice to active voice or active voice to passive voice. You can change a couple of simple sentences into a compound sentence or complex sentence depending on the relationship between the sentences. And one of the easiest ways to change sentence structure is to move prepositional phrases or other adverbials around in the sentence. The third thing you do is you change word forms. So in order to change word forms, you need to know how to change one word, for example, benefit, which is a noun, into its other forms, such as beneficial, which is an adjective, and benefiting, which is a gerund. So you have to basically know all the word forms for the words that you want to use in your paraphrase. And the last thing here is to use synonyms and synonymous phrases. You have to be very careful when you're using synonyms because if you only use synonyms when you paraphrase, you're not really paraphrasing. You're actually still plagiarizing. So after you change sentence structure, after you've changed word forms, then you use synonyms. Okay, so this is going to be a look at a step-by-step paraphrase using the steps we just talked about. So the original sentence here is, every year thousands of students attend Santa Monica College because of its reputation for successfully transferring students to top universities across the United States. So we're going to break down the sentence into its component parts. So you see that based on the different types of coloring in the sentence, we have every year. We've separated thousands of students attend Santa Monica College, and because of its reputation for successfully transferring students to top universities around the United States. So how do we break this down? We have an adverbial, we have the independent clause, and then we have a reason for this independent clause. So first thing we're going to do is change sentence structure. So we've changed this to, because of its reputation for successfully transferring students to top universities across the United States, thousands of students attend Santa Monica College every year. So basically all we did was move the independent clause to the end of the sentence, and then the adverbial to the after the independent clause. Now we're going to change word forms. So we see because of its reputed success. So instead of saying reputations for successfully transferring students, we changed it to reputed success in transferring students. This is just, one change of word forms. And we also want to use synonyms and synonymous phrases. So instead of saying because of, we say as a result of its reputed success in transferring students to highly rated institutions across the country, thousands of students attend Santa Monica College annually. We could probably change this part, thousands of students attend Santa Monica College, a little bit more, actually. Santa Monica College we probably don't want to change because there's really no synonym or way to change that. It's important to the meaning of the sentence. So it's kind of a keyword. We want to leave keywords alone. But thousands of students, we could possibly change that if we think of another word form change or a synonym for this phrase, thousands of students. Okay, so if we look at this paraphrase one more time, we'll go from the original, which is this right here. When we turned it into this. So the meaning's the same, but we've changed the language from the original. But we need to make sure always that the meaning is the same as the original.